Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Christine. So today I'm going to be doing a more of an informational, is that a word? I just got so many questions on my Instagram about like usage rights, how you can like start monetizing your page, and the importance of usage rights and charging companies to be able to post your picture on their website. So if you guys are interested in hearing all about usage rights, how you can start monetizing your social media, making the switch from getting gifted campaigns to paid campaigns, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more videos from me, and the little notification bell, and let's go ahead and get into the video. So my makeup today is a little bit different than the makeup that I normally do. I played with a little bit of color, and I will be posting the look on my Instagram, so make sure you guys follow me on there if you haven't yet. I feel like I'm so much more active on there, and I post a lot of like makeup tips and reviews and stuff like that. But I played with the Pure Festival palette today, and so these are the colors that I have on my eyes. I wonder if you can see me. Oh, hello. This is the color that I have in the crease. This is what I have in like the outer corner, and then I kind of have the purple on the crease as well. Anyways, enough about the chatting. Let's go ahead and get into the video. A lot of people don't know about usage rights. When I first started out, I didn't know anything. I would just sign the contracts, have a company pay me like $50, $100, whatever it was, to post a picture on my Instagram, and then just send them the full resolution picture for them to use as they wish. That is a huge issue. Brandon's sister works in marketing, so she knows all about those contracts, why it is so important to enforce the correct usage rights, and why you should be fully compensated for that. I did make an IGTV on my Instagram. In there, I covered a lot of really good basic information, kind of on the basic topics of like how I started out as a blogger, how I grew my channel, started getting more PR, how I started to monetize my social media. So if you guys are interested in hearing more about the fundamentals, if you are just now starting out and like usage rights is like way over your head, I would just highly recommend checking out my IGTV. I'll go ahead and link it down below. I also was on a podcast with Glow Radio. They interviewed me for their podcast, asked me a lot of basic questions on like tips and advice that I have for people that are just now starting out, my biggest struggles, and how I kind of built my platform to where it is today. There's also a lot of really great information on that podcast as well, so be sure to check that out. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive into what we're going to talk about today. I'm not an expert. Everything that I know is literally from experience, also from talking to Brandon's sister. I just get so many questions all the time that I feel like it's almost overwhelming how little people know about the topic. So I felt like it is my duty to kind of educate you guys and let you guys know all the stuff that I know. I literally have like a whole checklist of things that I need to make sure I cover. And I also got a ton of like DMs from you guys. I wrote everything down, so we would touch on everything. When I first started out, I probably had around 5,000 followers. Wow, I just said twice. What the heck? When you first start out, I took on a lot of gifted campaigns. I would get products in exchange for a review. Oftentimes, when you start out, you would be buying a lot of these things by yourself. I would go out and buy specific skincare from brands or makeup that I wanted to get these brands to notice me, and it slowly started evolving into all these companies wanting to send me stuff, to the point where it wouldn't make sense for me to be working for free anymore. So I started charging a small rate. When you pitch your rate to companies, they usually have a couple options. The first option is they say, we don't have a budget and we're not able to pay at the moment. And in that case, they are either one, not willing to pay and trying to get something for free out of you still, because companies will do that. Two, they actually don't have a budget. And so in that case, when they say, I don't have a budget, we're not able to pay for a post at the moment, you kind of have to like sit back and think about, is this company worth it? Is it a big enough company that getting free product from them or being on their PR list is worth doing free work for them? Think about if it's worth it for you, and if it's not, just message them back and say, thank you for getting back to me. Unfortunately, at this time, I'm only able to take on companies that are able to accommodate my rates, so let me know in the future if you would like to revisit my rates. You want to make sure that you keep it cordial and respectful just in case that they do reach out in the future. If it is a company where it is worth getting free product in exchange for doing some free work for them. For example, Ulla Henriksen was one of the very first companies that I worked with, but it's such a big company and I love their product so much that I did free work for them. You kind of have to like weigh in, is it worth it? is it not? And then after that point where I started getting a couple paid collaborations under my belt, got some experience, and had a couple of posts on my feed to kind of showcase, got to the point where I don't do gifted campaigns anymore. So most of the stuff that I do is paid, just because I truly get so much in my inbox that it just wouldn't make sense for me to do anything for free. It is my full-time job and I have to make a living off of it. So at this point where you are like making a living off of it, you can say, I would love to try out your products and share with my audience organically if I truly like it. There is no guaranteed post, but if you're interested in a guaranteed post or video, I can go ahead and send you my rates. So that's how I would kind of go about companies that reach out to me initially. If they don't want to pay a rate and they're okay with just sending me products for me to try out, then that's great. I'll send them my shipping address. And a lot of the PR that I get today is something like that, where brands would just want to send you products so you can just try out, and then if you like them, you can share it. That way I still have products that I'm testing out and trying out and reviewing for you guys organically. Not everything on my feed is paid or sponsored posts. So it's kind of great to have some stuff come in complimentary from brands that I can just try out and share with you guys if I like it. One thing that brands will do, especially when you start out, is they will offer affiliate programs. Especially at the very beginning, I would have brands that would message me and say, we would love to have you as a brand ambassador, receive 30% off your purchase. Here is your like special ambassador code. 30 to 40% off is not a lot, especially if it's from a company that you wouldn't normally purchase from. It's a scam, in my opinion. You don't know how many girls they are sending that message to. They could just be messaging that to everyone, and that could be their way of making money, because people think, oh, I'm special, I'm in their ambassador program, I get 40% off, I'm gonna go ahead and spend all this money. Even if they have a lot of followers, if it's a brand that you wouldn't normally purchase from, I wouldn't pay. Other times they will offer you like 100% off free product, and all you have to pay is shipping. So shipping is like $5. So I've fallen for that a couple times, especially when it's like a free swimsuit or something that I would actually want. 99% of the time when I finally receive the product is just like a crap thing and wouldn't be something that I would normally purchase anyways. And if I have to pay any amount of money for any type of collaboration, I just don't take it. Especially if a company is not paying you to post, why should you have to pay for the product? Everything should be gifted, and if it's not gifted, it's not a collaboration. Other times, brands will offer you an affiliate program. If a brand were to reach out, want to send me product in exchange for a post, and I would respond by sending them my rates, if they were to come back and say, we can't pay that, but we can offer you an affiliate program where you can have the option of making this amount of money, and they make it seem super appealing, but most of the time the affiliate program is not a good trade-off. I never take any affiliate programs in exchange for my rate. I either take my rate and the affiliate program, or I don't take it at all. So it's very important to know your worth and don't be taken by a fool by these companies, because unless you are really pushing this company and actively trying to make sales every single day, you're not going to make that much money off of the affiliate program. Even if you were pushing their product and their brand on your page all the time, if you're an aspiring blogger or influencer, I'm not sure if that's what you're wanting to be doing, because one, you don't want to be annoying your audience. Two, you want to be authentic and talking about things that you truly like and love instead of trying to make money off of your audience. Affiliate programs are awesome, and I think it's a great bonus on top of companies paying your rate, but I never take that instead of getting my rate. So transitioning to free work to paid work with a company you've worked with before. So that becomes a little bit tricky, especially if you have worked with a company previously you did a gifted campaign for, and now you're at a level where you want to start charging rates. If they reach out saying, we have a new launch, we would love to send you this product, you can come back and say, thank you so much, I have started charging rates for my posts. Let me know if you're interested and I would love to send you my rates. Otherwise, I would be happy to try out your products and share with my audience if I truly like it. Thank you. I'll eat it later. I'll eat it later. Thank you. Look what Brandon made me. This is Juicy. We're pet sitting Juicy for the month. You are so cute. Look here. Oh! Most of the time, companies will understand, especially if your following has grown since the last time that you guys talked, and they will either agree to your rate or agree to continuing to gift you products. And in that case, you're not obligated to post. It is just a great way to receive product, and you are able to share with your audience if you truly like it. Especially with bigger companies that I want to continue to have a good relationship with, I would do stories for them, and if I'm doing like a product shot, I would just kind of throw it in the corner. Another question I got is, if you're asking to try out products from a company, is it justified to ask for compensation? In my opinion, not really. I feel like it wouldn't be right to ask a company, hey, love your products, would love to work together, oh, by the way, these are my rates. Then it's kind of like, if you're asking for something from a company, I feel like it's asking too much by also pushing on your rates. So in that case, when it's a company that I really want to work with, if I reach out and they want to send me stuff, great. Most of the time I would do a post or stories for them kind of as like a thank you for gifting it to me, especially if it is a product that I really like. That's sometimes a good thing to do too, because then companies will add you to their PR list and continue to send stuff, and especially if it's a company that you actually like and you like the brand and their products. If they reach out a second time and they have a new launch and they would like to work with you again, in that case you can then send your rates and it's totally justified the second round. I like to think of it as kind of like a trial run the very first time. I think it's a great way to show them what you can do and showcase your abilities as a content creator. If they truly like your work and your content, they will eventually be paying you to do that. Now let's kind of go into usage rights, what it is and why it is so important. Usage rights is pretty much the right for a company to be able to reuse your photo or video on their platforms. Let's give an example. You are, for the first time, working with a company, really excited. They agreed to pay you your rate for the post and you went ahead and just signed the contract. You post a picture and then a few weeks later you see this picture like front and center on their website, and they are making sales off of your photo. They have your photo up on billboards, ads, magazines, everywhere. They're making all this money off of you and you're not receiving any compensation, and all you got was your $50 or $100 or whatever your rate was for a post. That is like the worst case scenario, especially for like influencers, because your face is like your brand. So you want to make sure that you are protecting that, especially if you are just signing away your rights. You don't know where you're going to be a year from now. For example, say the company was Walmart and you did a beauty campaign for Walmart and they take this picture and it's all over billboards, all over their website. Let's say a year from the Walmart collab, Nordstrom Beauty wants to work with you and they send you a great contract. They're willing to pay your full rate. Then they see the Walmart ad. All of a sudden your brand is affiliated with the Walmart brand. They may not want to work with you anymore, especially if it kind of like tarnishes their image. In that case, you could lose a lot of deals based off of usage rights. So you just want to protect yourself. Make sure that you are being compensated for your work and your likeness, because your face is literally your brand. So the number one thing I can recommend is to always read contracts. It is so important, especially going back, seeing the contracts that I previously signed when I first started out. A lot of them will slip in there unlimited usage rights for an unlimited amount of time. That is a big no-no, because especially like in that Walmart Nordstrom example, you never know when a company is going to reuse your image, and most of the times they won't, because a product or that image won't be as applicable in like 2 to 3 years. Say like where you are now, in 5 years you blow up and you have a couple million followers. All of a sudden you have a brand that is like reposting this image that you did 5 years ago because you signed away all the rights. You just want to be extra careful and protect yourself no matter what, and it doesn't hurt you in any way, so it's just something that I always make sure I do. If in the contract it says unlimited usage rights, I will point it out to the company in an email. I'll say, sorry, I don't offer unlimited usage rights. I only offer 3 or 6 month periods. Let me know if you're interested in purchasing that and I will send you my rates. They will either come back and say, that's okay, we won't purchase usage rights, or they will go ahead and want your rates for it. I don't really know what the industry standard is. Even charging for like a post or story, there's not like a good standard rate. So I think it's totally up to you, but you kind of have to take into account how long it took you, the equipment that you use, anything that you had to buy in order to get the content up for them. If I'm doing a photo and I had to buy a couple props, my camera was really nice, I had to get lighting for it, you want to take that into account when you're charging your usage rights. Just what I normally do is I normally charge around the same price as I do for a post. That's just because I just don't know what the normal standard is. I feel like that has normally been working for me. Usually if you get a lot of companies that are just like downright declining you, one, that might mean your rates are too high or your content doesn't match what your rate is. If you're getting companies that are negotiating, companies that are accepting, then you can know you kind of have like a sweet spot. For video, I charge a little bit more. Filming takes a lot of effort. You need all the equipment, lighting, etc. There's different rates for 3 months and 6 months periods. When I first found out that like I needed to be charging a separate rate for usage rights, I did a ton of research on it. There's not too much written about like influencers and bloggers, but if you look at like photographer usage rights and how much you charge as a photographer, it's pretty similar. So I found a lot of information on that. So the two different usage rights are non-digital and digital. Digital is everything that is on a company's website, newsletter, email, and then non-digital is like ads. It could be like online ads such as like Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram ads, but it could also be like print ads like on billboards, magazines. The most common is the digital usage rights. Most companies will want your picture or video just on their website or send out to email. All the usage rights that I've dealt with are digital usage rights. I'd usually charge around the same amount as I normally charge for a post or a video for my 3-month usage rights. And then for the 6 months, I just double it. Having your photo or video for a 6 month is still risky and you never know where you're gonna be 6 months from now. So you don't wanna be discounting it too much. And then from there, if a company wants to renew it, I give them that option, but I don't keep the price the same. I let them know that like, this is my rate for the 3 month, this is my rate for the 6 month. At the end of the term, if you would like to renew, please reach out and I will send you my updated rates. I feel like the 3 and 6 month is a great sweet spot. You don't wanna be giving out for a year just because there's so much unknown. You don't know where you're gonna be, and that way if a company wishes to renew and you want to, at the end of the 6 months you can go ahead and choose to renew. As far as like non-digital usage rights, do your research because even me, I don't know that much about it, but you want to make sure that you're being fairly compensated, especially if they are using that same picture or video all over Instagram ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, and they're making tons of money off of your picture. You should charge a percentage of how much they spend on marketing, so that way you are being fairly compensated for the sales that they're making and how often they're using their product and how many people are seeing this. I have yet to deal with the non-digital usage rights, so it's not something very commonly dealt with, but it's good to educate yourself in the case that the topic does come up. You already kind of have a basic knowledge and the rates that you know you want to charge for it. How you enforce that is you just make sure that is in the contract. If you agree on 6-month digital usage rights only, make sure it is written just like that in the contract, even throw in there like the expiration date just for extra emphasis. And then another thing that I do is I always send out an invoice within 24 hours of posting, and I'll go ahead and put together an invoice just on like Microsoft Excel. There's so many drafts and templates that you can find online that you can go ahead and use and copy. In the template, I will go ahead and put 3 months usage rights valid from this date, expires this date, and then however much that they owe me for that. As long as you have everything in writing, you are protected. Another topic that I get questions so much about is I recently put together a media kit. It is pretty much like your portfolio. Media kits are useful just because it helps you to secure a partnership with a company, especially with a company that you've never worked with before. They don't know anything about you. They don't know how effective you are. It's just a great thing to send to give them all the information that they need, and it helps you justify your pricing as well. So in my media kit, I have like a little about me blurb, all my social media handles and how they can find me. And then on the next page, I have like analytics. If you have a business profile on Instagram, you can hit view insights, and then it shows on there how many likes, comments, saves, reach, impressions you have. So I screenshotted a couple of my posts that did really well and put that in my media kit to kind of show these companies that I get good engagement. I also have like information on my audience, the percentage of male to female, where they're located, the age range, stuff like that. And that's just helpful, especially to companies that are wanting to reach target audiences. If you have a high percentage of people that are in their target audience, it makes them want to work with you a little bit more. And then on the last page of my media kit, I just have like past collaborations, brands that I've worked with, and photos that I have put together for companies. When I first put together my media kit, I had no idea what it should look like, so I looked up a lot of templates and videos on YouTube. There's so much information on it, but I highly recommend putting one together, even if it is super basic. It's just great to kind of have saved, and that way if you're reaching out to a company for the first time, you can say like, also attached is my media kit. So it's just like a great extra thing to do. It's also great if you're in the negotiation phase with the company, you can go ahead and just say like, oh, also attached is my media kit. And a lot of the times that can be the tipping point to get them to pay your full rate. So I just think it's useful to have a media kit. It's worth putting the time into putting one together. And then tips that I have for pitching yourself is you want to make sure, I talk about this all the time, I talk about it in my IGTV and in my podcast, but I talked about how important it is to be consistent and always creating good content. Nowadays, your follower count doesn't matter as much to brands, but more so like your content. If you're creating good content and you're putting good thought into whatever you put on your profile, stay consistent and make sure you're posting on Instagram 2 to 3 times a week at least. When I reach out to companies that I really want to work with, I feel like it helps me because I also have an Instagram and a YouTube channel. So I'll go ahead and pitch them like, this is my YouTube channel, this is my Instagram. Kind of introduce yourself, and you don't want to make it too long because most of the times brands won't even read it. Make it short, concise, attach your media kit if you have one, and then link your social media so they can go ahead and check it out. And going back to like creating good content, your first like 6 pictures should best represent you and your brand, so that way when you have a company look at your page at any given point, the pictures that you have at the very top, the first pictures that they see, they're happy with, and then they are more likely to work with you then. So I believe that is everything that I wanted to talk about. If you guys have any questions, let me know down below. Feel free to follow me on Instagram and DM me if you guys have any more questions, but I hope you guys found that helpful. If there's any more information that you want to find out, make sure you check out my IGTV and my podcast because there's so much more information on there that I didn't want to kind of talk about again. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.
Resume.
Hello, welcome back to my channel.